The 1946 Jefferson nickel was the very first regular-issue nickel struck after World War II, marking an important turning point in American coin history. Featuring Thomas Jefferson on the front and his historic home Monticello on the reverse, this coin symbolized America stepping out of wartime sacrifice and back into peacetime strength. After the special silver, war nickels, of 1942 to 1945, the mint returned to the traditional copper-nickel alloy in 1946. That alone makes this date historically powerful. It represents a fresh beginning. While millions were made, collectors are always hunting for exceptional high-grade examples and rare mint-state survivors that look almost untouched decades later. In terms of total production, the 1946 Jefferson nickel was struck in very large numbers across 3 mints. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 161,116,000 coins with no mint mark. The Denver Mint struck around 45,292,200 coins with a D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint produced about 13,560,000 coins with an S mint mark. Altogether, more than 219 million nickels were minted in 1946. Because of this high mintage, most circulated examples are common and affordable today. However, survival in flawless, high mint state grades is a completely different story. Condition is everything in the coin world, and that is where the real money begins to talk. Now here is where excitement builds. While ordinary circulated 1946 nickels are worth only a small premium over face value, pristine, sharply struck examples, especially those with full steps visible on Monticello, can command serious attention at auction. Coins graded at the very top of the mint state scale by professional grading services have reached impressive 5-figure prices. In rare cases, top population pieces with exceptional luster, clean surfaces, and strong strike quality have approached or exceeded tens of thousands of dollars. Claims of sales in the $200,000 range would require an extremely rare error, a one-of-a-kind specimen, or a unique condition rarity. For standard issues, such extreme prices are extraordinarily uncommon, but high-end auction records do prove that elite examples can surprise the market. What makes the 1946 issue so desirable to advanced collectors is not just its age, but its quality challenges. Many 1946 nickels were weakly struck, meaning the fine lines of the steps on Monticello often appear flat or incomplete. Finding a coin with bold, uninterrupted, full steps, detail is difficult, especially in superb gem condition. Add to that original mint luster, minimal contact marks, and strong eye appeal, and you have a coin that becomes highly competitive among registry set collectors. These collectors are willing to pay strong premiums to own the best-known examples, driving prices far above what average coins bring. So can a 1946 Jefferson nickel change your fortune overnight? In most everyday conditions, no, but in extraordinary condition, absolutely it can be worth far more than 5 cents. The key is authentication, professional grading, and understanding the difference between common circulation pieces and elite mint state survivors. This coin represents the dawn of post-war American coinage, carries the legacy of Thomas Jefferson, and holds a special place in numismatic history. If you believe you have a sharply detailed, nearly flawless 1946 nickel, it may be worth having it examined carefully, because in the rare coin world, small details can transform an ordinary pocket coin into a remarkable collector's treasure. Coin number 2. You're about to hear something that sounds unbelievable, but stay with me. A simple 5-cent coin from 1952, yes, just a nickel, has shocked collectors with auction prices reaching tens of thousands of dollars. I'm talking about the legendary 1952 D. Jefferson nickel. Before you laugh, before you scroll, ask yourself one question: what if that old coin lying in your drawer is not ordinary? What if it's the one collectors are hunting like treasure? Back in 1952, the Denver Mint produced approximately 30,638,000 of these nickels. That number sounds huge, right? Millions made. So how can something so common become so powerful? Here's the truth most people don't understand: survival in perfect condition is everything. The majority of those coins were thrown into circulation. They were scratched, worn down, faded by decades of use. But a tiny fraction survived in extraordinary condition. Coins graded in very high mint state, especially those with the rare, full steps, detail on Monticello, have stunned the market. In elite certified grades, auction records have shown prices climbing toward $86,000, and in certain reported sales, figures close to $90,000. That's not fantasy. That's collector demand meeting extreme rarity. Let's slow down and look at the coin itself. The Jefferson nickel weighs exactly 5.00 grams. Its composition is 75% copper and 25% nickel. Diameter is 21.2 millimeters. On the front, you see Thomas Jefferson's profile. On the reverse, Monticello. Simple design. Clean. Classic. But look closer at those steps on Monticello. Are they fully visible? Sharp? Clear? Because collectors pay premium prices for coins where every step is defined. One tiny detail can turn pocket change into a headline auction result. Now here's where the story becomes intense. Errors. Imagine a 1952 D struck slightly off-center. Or a strong double die. Or a noticeable die crack running across the design. These mint mistakes are not damage, they are history frozen in metal. And when a rare error appears on an already collectible date like the 1952 D, serious buyers start competing. Competition drives price. Price creates headlines. Headlines create legends. That's how a 5-cent coin ends up being talked about in the same breath as 5-figure auction results. But listen carefully, not every 1952 D nickel is worth thousands. Condition is king. A worn coin from daily use might only be worth a small premium. The real money is in top-graded, professionally authenticated examples. That's why experts always say, don't clean it, don't polish it, don't scratch it. Cleaning destroys value. If you think your coin looks unusually sharp, bright, or detailed, have it examined by a professional grading service. Authentic certification is what unlocks serious buyer confidence at auctions. And let me address something directly. Why are you confused? Why do people ignore what they already own? So many times, life-changing opportunities sit quietly in drawers and old jars. I'm not saying every nickel will make you rich overnight. But I am saying this: rare coins have transformed ordinary collectors into serious earners. If you discover a high-grade or rare error version of the 1952 D Jefferson nickel, you could list it in major coin auctions, on eBay, or even through collector communities on Facebook. The marketplace exists. Buyers are actively searching. This isn't hype for the sake of hype. This is about awareness. It's about checking before spending. It's about understanding that rarity is not about how many were made, it's about how many survived in perfection. Somewhere out there, one flawless 1952 D nickel shocked the market and commanded an astonishing price. And somewhere else, someone almost spent one without looking. So tonight, open that coin box. Take out your old nickels. Look for the D mint mark under Monticello. Check the weight, 5 grams. Study the steps. Search for unusual strike patterns or doubling. Don't trust rumors, but don't ignore possibility either. Because sometimes history hides in the smallest objects, and sometimes 5 cents carries the power to completely change the story of your life. In the last, close your eyes for a second and imagine this: you're holding an ordinary 5-cent coin. It looks small, simple, almost forgettable. But what if I told you that this tiny piece of metal, the 1959 D from the legendary Jefferson nickel series, has shocked collectors with jaw-dropping prices? I'm not here to joke, and I'm not here to waste your time. I'm here to tell you that the right 1959 D nickel could be worth far more than you ever imagined. So don't skip, because this story gets serious. The 1959 D Jefferson nickel was struck at the powerful Denver Mint, and the total production was huge, approximately 160,738,240 coins. Yes, millions upon millions were made. That's why most people assume it's common. They see a big mintage number and immediately lose interest. But here's where collectors think differently. High mintage does not mean high-grade examples are easy to find. In fact, finding one in near-perfect condition from 1959 is extremely difficult because most were heavily circulated. Let's talk facts. This coin weighs exactly 5 grams and is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. That standard weight is important. Serious collectors even check it with digital scales. The design features Thomas Jefferson on the front and his historic home Monticello on the reverse. But the real magic happens when the coin has sharp steps on Monticello, full details, strong luster, and no contact marks. In the grading world, this is everything. An ordinary circulated coin may only be worth face value. But a high mint state example, especially MS66, MS67, or higher, can explode in value at auction. Now here's the part that creates headlines. Some top-quality certified examples have reached extremely strong prices in competitive auctions. There are records showing premium-graded pieces selling for tens of thousands of dollars, and when rare strike errors are involved, like doubled dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, or exceptional full-steps details, prices can skyrocket even further depending on collector demand. You may hear numbers like $90,000 or even $96,000 mentioned in online discussions. But listen carefully, those prices only apply to extraordinary, certified, top population coins with real auction proof. Not average pocket change. And this is where suspense begins. Imagine you find a 1959 D nickel in an old jar. At first glance, it looks bright, almost untouched. The D mint mark is crisp. The steps of Monticello look sharp and complete. There are no heavy scratches. You start wondering, could this be one of the rare high-grade survivors? That single moment of curiosity is how fortunes begin in the coin world. Because collectors don't pay for age alone, they pay for preservation, rarity and condition, and uniqueness. Some examples also exist with minting errors. Errors are accidents at the mint, and collectors love them. A dramatic off-center strike, a strong double die, or unusual planchet issue can turn an ordinary coin into a trophy piece. That's when serious bidders step in. That's when auction houses see action. That's when prices climb fast. And yes, coins like this can be sold through professional coin auctions, certified dealers, major marketplaces like eBay, and even collector communities. But always remember, authentication is the key. Without grading and verification, big money is almost impossible. So why are people still confused? Why do some ignore these nickels? Because they don't check carefully. They assume it's just 5 cents. But the truth is simple, not every 1959 D nickel is valuable, but the right one absolutely is. If you have one, examine it closely. Check the weight, 5 grams. Look for the Denver D. Study the condition under light. If it looks exceptional, consider professional grading before selling. I'm not promising magic. I'm not selling dreams. I'm telling you that in the world of coin collecting, tiny details create massive price differences. And here's the dramatic truth: sometimes wealth hides in the smallest places. A coin people ignore, a drawer people forget, a jar sitting quietly for decades. The 1959 D Jefferson nickel may look ordinary, but in extraordinary condition, it becomes powerful. The difference between 5 cents and thousands of dollars is knowledge. So don't rush. Don't dismiss it. Check your coins tonight. Because the next big discovery might already be in your hands, waiting for you to recognize its true value.